Hello, fellow contract enthusiasts. Welcome back to our journey through the fascinating world of the FIDIC Yellow Book 1999. I'm Sravan Kumar, your guide on this expedition. Today, we are diving deep into the complex waters of Clause 1.2 to Clause 1.14. Firstly, let's begin with Clause 1.2, aptly named Interpretation. This clause might sound straightforward, but trust me, it's a treasure trove of insights that can make or break a contract's clarity. Stick around, because we're about to unravel its hidden gems. Let's start by deciphering the four distinct parts of Clause 1.2 and their implications. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Ever wondered what happens when a contract uses gender-specific terms? FIDIC Yellow Book says, hold on, let's not box ourselves in. If you encounter he, it embraces she and they. This clause promotes inclusivity and equality by ensuring that the contract speaks to everyone, regardless of gender. Imagine the word contractor. Is it one individual or a group? With FIDIC, it's both. Whether singular or plural, this clause keeps things flexible. So, contractor can magically become contractors and vice versa, depending on the context. Talk about linguistic chameleons. When parties find common ground, it's time to put it on paper. FIDIC Yellow Book makes sure that any agreement, especially those involving the magical trio of agree, agreed, or agreement, is inked down. This written proof safeguards against misunderstandings down the road. Whether it's pen on paper or pixels on a screen, FIDIC acknowledges it all. From handwritten to electronically created records, if it's permanent, it's potent. This part of the clause legitimizes various forms of written communication, fostering transparency. But wait, there's a twist. This isn't just about what's written, it's also about what's not. The clause asserts that those snazzy headings and marginal words aren't the Sherlock Holmes of contract interpretation. They might help organize the document, but they don't dictate its meaning. Clever, right? Why does all this matter? Well, let's zoom out for a moment. Clause 1.2 is like the GPS of contract reading. It ensures that the journey is smooth, avoiding potholes of ambiguity. It's like having a referee in the contract ring helping when disputes arise and ensuring fairness and clarity for all parties involved. Now, let's connect the dots with real-life scenarios. Imagine a courtroom drama over contract interpretation. Judges and arbitrators reach for Clause 1.2 as their North Star, guiding them through the labyrinth of legal jargon. It keeps the playing field level, preventing any gender bias and catering to individuals and collectives alike. So, what's the key takeaway here? First, document agreements writing is your best friend. Second, the contract speaks to everyone, not just one gender or party. And finally, the fine print isn't alone, the headings don't call the shots. That's a wrap for exploration of Clause 1.2 in the FIDIC Yellow Book 1999. We've navigated the twists and turns, unveiling the magic behind interpretation. Remember, the devil's in the details, and Clause 1.2 is your trusty map to navigate through the contractual wilderness. Thank you for joining me, Sravan Kumar, on this riveting journey. If you're hungry for more contract wisdom, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for the next clause. Until then, keep those contracts clear, fair, and exciting. Happy contracting?
Moving on to next, Clause 1.3, a cornerstone of effective communication within the FIDIC framework. Buckle up as we unravel the mysteries of this crucial clause and explore its practical applications. Communication, my friends, is the glue that holds the FIDIC Yellow Book together. Clause 1.3 is the beacon guiding us through the labyrinth of approvals, certificates, consents, notices, and requests. It's not just about sending messages, it's about clarity, transparency, and accountability. Let's break it down into bite-sized pieces. At its core, Clause 1.3 ensures that approvals, certificates, consents, and determinations can't be withheld or delayed without reasonable cause. It's about keeping the gears of the project turning smoothly. Imagine a scenario where a certificate of completion is issued for a project phase. According to Clause 1.3, both parties must receive a copy. This shared knowledge prevents confusion and enables well-informed decisions. Implementation is key. As you apply Clause 1.3, consider the security and reliability of electronic communication systems. Make sure all parties are on the same page and understand these systems. Any changes in addresses must be promptly shared with everyone involved. Now, let's talk implications. This clause isn't just bureaucratic jargon, it's a shield against disputes and delays. By keeping parties informed, Clause 1.3 promotes transparency and accountability. Moreover, it provides a written trail of communication, a powerful tool to resolve disagreements. Looking for real-world applications? Dive into the book FIDIC Guide for Practitioners. It's a treasure trove of case studies that exemplify the power of Clause 1.3. Picture this: contractors providing timely notice of claims, engineers responding promptly with approvals or comments. This process ensures claims are nipped in the bud, preventing potential disputes. And there you have it, a captivating journey through the corridors of Clause 1.3 in the FIDIC Yellow Book 1999. Remember, communication isn't just about words, it's about fostering collaboration, clarity, and trust. If you found this episode enlightening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for joining me on this riveting journey. If you're hungry for more contract wisdom, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for the next clause. Until then, keep those contracts clear, fair, and exciting. Happy contracting!
Moving on to next, Clause 1.4 Law and Language. Get ready to untangle the legal threads and linguistic nuances that shape this cornerstone of FIDIC contracts. Picture this. You've got your FIDIC contract in hand, but have you ever wondered what sets the legal stage for the entire agreement? That's where Clause 1.4 comes in. Titled Law and Language, it's more than just words on paper. It's the key to unlocking a clear legal framework and effective communication between parties. Now, let's talk law. This clause puts the spotlight on the governing law of the contract. Imagine the contract as a ship navigating through the legal seas. Clause 1.4 tells us that this ship will sail under the flag of the country or jurisdiction mentioned in the appendix to tender. So, the choice of law isn't just a detail, it's the compass guiding our contractual voyage. But what if our contract speaks more than one language? Here's where things get intriguing. If different versions exist, the one in the ruling language stated in the appendix to tender takes center stage. Why? To avoid the treacherous waters of ambiguity caused by translation errors or differing interpretations. Communication is key, right? Absolutely. This clause ensures that communication between parties is crystal clear. The contract's language for communication is set in the appendix to tender. And if it's missing an action there, the language in which the majority of the contract is written takes the lead. No more language barriers causing confusion, just smooth sailing ahead. Let's talk implications. The choice of law and language isn't just a formality, it's a seismic decision. Think of it as a ripple effect. Different legal systems mean different rules, and language differences can spark misunderstandings. Imagine a multilingual construction project. The chosen law and language can tip the scales in a dispute's favor. Case studies the heart of our learning journey. Take the case of Obriskin Hewart Lane S.A.V. Her Majesty's Attorney General for Gibraltar 2014 EWHC 1028, TCC. The English High Court had to interpret a FIDIC contract governed by Gibraltar law. English contract principles came into play, showing us how the choice of law matters, even on foreign shores. Now, let's chart a course through complexity. When dealing with Clause 1.4, ensure the chosen law and language are crystal clear in the appendix to tender. Don't shy away from seeking legal advice. If multiple languages are involved, translate diligently. It's all about clarity and accuracy. As we wrap up this captivating journey, remember the Clause 1.4 Law and Language in the FIDIC Yellow Book 1999 is the compass guiding our legal voyage. It's the bridge between different legal systems and languages, and it can shape the destiny of contract interpretations and dispute resolutions. Thank you for joining me on this riveting journey. If you're hungry for more contract wisdom, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for the next clause. Until then, keep those contracts clear, fair, and exciting. Happy contracting!
Moving on to a crucial clause that lays the foundation for resolving conflicts and ambiguities in your FIDIC contracts. Let's explore Clause 1.5 Priority of Documents. Clause 1.5 plays a pivotal role in ensuring smooth contract execution. It dictates the order in which different contract documents are prioritized for interpretation. The hierarchy of documents is established as follows: the contract agreement, if applicable, the letter of acceptance, the letter of tender, the particular conditions, the general conditions, the employer's requirements, the schedules, the contractor's proposal, and any other contract-related documents. This clause comes into play when there's an ambiguity or discrepancy between different contract documents. In such cases, it's the engineer's responsibility to issue necessary clarifications or instructions. Let's break it down with an example. Imagine there's a conflict between the employer's requirements and the contractor's proposal. According to Clause 1.5, the employer's requirements take precedence due to their higher position in the order of priority. Importance of Clause 1.5. This clause is not just a technicality, it's a safeguard against disputes and misunderstandings. Having a predefined order of precedence ensures that everyone involved in the contract is on the same page. Tips for implementation. To make the most of this clause, ensure all your contract documents are consistent. This minimizes the chances of discrepancies arising in the first place. And remember, if a conflict does arise, the engineer is there to provide necessary guidance. And that's a wrap on Clause 1.5 Priority of Documents. Understanding this hierarchy is key to a smooth contract execution. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more insights into FIDIC Yellow Book 1999. As always, I'm here to provide accurate and digestible information to empower your FIDIC journey. Thank you for joining me on this riveting journey. If you're hungry for more contract wisdom, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for the next clause. Until then, keep those contracts clear, fair, and exciting. Happy contracting!
Moving on to Clause 1.6, the contract agreement. Now, let's break down this clause and uncover its essence. Clause 1.6 states that once the contractor receives the letter of acceptance, a countdown begins. Within 28 days, a contract agreement must be established, unless both parties agree on a different timeline. But what's the purpose behind this seemingly bureaucratic timeline? The contract agreement isn't just paperwork, it's the cornerstone of the relationship between the involved parties. This agreement crystallizes the rights, duties, and responsibilities of each party in black and white. Think of it as the legal heartbeat of the entire project. Now, let's talk legalities. The contract agreement isn't just ink on paper, it's a powerful, legally binding document. This clause ensures that the promises made aren't mere words, but hold the weight of the law behind them. It's a guarantee that both parties are locked into the project's terms. Picture this. The contractor receives the letter of acceptance, signaling the green light for the project. But it's not a solo dance, it's a duet. The employer's commitment comes into play as well. The contract agreement ensures that the contractor dances to the rhythm of the project's beat, while the employer is the conductor, orchestrating the show. Now, let's talk numbers. This clause goes beyond just words. It speaks the language of financial responsibility. The employer shoulders the costs of stamp duties and similar charges tied to formalizing the contract agreement. It's a backstage expense that ensures the onstage performance goes off without a hitch. But wait, there's more. Expert insights from FIDIC contracts. Law and Practice and FIDIC, a guide for practitioners, shed light on the depth of this clause. This isn't just about signatures, it's about ensuring a project's success. For the contractor, the letter of acceptance isn't just a congratulatory note, it's a promise of commitment. And for the employer, the contract agreement is the insurance policy that guarantees project completion as agreed. So, what are our key takeaways? Timing is everything. Within 28 days, the contract agreement must be set in stone, shaping the course of the project. Inked commitment. The contract agreement isn't just a piece of paper, it's the legal commitment that binds both parties. Choreography of commitment. It's a dance of synchronization. The contractor dances to the project's rhythm, orchestrated by the employer. Financial backstage. The employer picks up the tab for legal formalities, ensuring the spotlight stays on the project. And there you have it, Clause 1.6 of the FIDIC Yellow Book 1999, decoded, dissected, and demystified. Remember, every clause has a story to tell, and I'm here to guide you through the narrative. Thank you for joining me on this riveting journey. If you're hungry for more contract wisdom, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for the next clause. Until then, keep those contracts clear, fair, and exciting. Happy contracting!
Moving on to Clause 1.7, the enigmatic assignment clause. Get ready to untangle the web of rights, restrictions, and implications in this compelling installment. Have you ever wondered what happens when parties in a contract want to pass the torch to someone else? Well, Clause 1.7 of the FIDIC Yellow Book 1999 has all the answers. It's like a chess move, each step strategically planned, and every move has its consequences. Let's take a closer look. Clause 1.7. Assignment. The name might sound simple, but the implications are anything but. This clause is all about who can pass the baton and under what conditions. Picture this. The employer and the contractor are in the ring, and they're considering handing over their roles and responsibilities. But hold on, it's not that easy. This clause says, "Thou shalt not assign without thy party's agreement." No passing the buck without a green light from the other side. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Clause 1.7 isn't without its escape hatches. Euro's exception A. Both parties can nod in agreement to an assignment. It's like getting a golden ticket, but the chocolate factory is the contract. Exception B. One can mortgage their rights to the bank. That's right, it's like pledging collateral for that loan you've been eyeing. So, why this fuss over assigning? 7b. The clause is a guardian of control, ensuring that each party knows who's stepping into their shoes. Imagine a construction project, it's a symphony of efforts, and if someone else takes the baton, they better know the tune. Whether it's a mega corporate reshuffle or a financial institution in the mix, this clause keeps the ship steady. Here's where the rubber meets the road. If you're thinking of passing the torch, you need the other side's thumbs up. No consent? Sorry, Charlie, that assignment might be DOA. The breach of contract cloud might be hovering above you. This clause isn't just words, it's the heartbeat of accountability. Ready for some real-world intrigue? Let's consider a contractor undergoing a metamorphosis. They want to hand over their FIDIC obligations to a shiny new entity. But wait, the employer holds the strings. They're not handing over the reins without a thorough check. Can the new entity keep the rhythm going? Will timelines sway? It's like a high-stakes negotiation where every move counts. So, dear viewers, when you stumble upon Clause 1.7, remember this. It's more than just legalese, it's about keeping the contract ship afloat. Assignments are like a well-choreographed dance, you need the right partners and the right moves. The next time you explore the FIDIC Yellow Book 1999, you'll know that Clause 1.7 isn't just a rulebook, it's a guardian of integrity. And there you have it, the captivating world of Clause 1.7. Let's continue decoding the magic of FIDIC contracts together. This is Sravan Kumar, signing off. Stay legally curious. You umlaut. Thank you for joining me on this riveting journey. If you're hungry for more contract wisdom, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for the next clause. Until then, keep those contracts clear, fair, and exciting. Happy contracting.
Moving on to Clause 1.8, care and supply of documents. It might sound like just another clause, but trust me, it holds the key to smooth project execution and resolving potential disputes. So, let's unravel the hidden treasures within this clause, shall we? Clause 1.8 has a clear mission: to safeguard the heart of your project, the documents. It's not just about storing them neatly, it's about ensuring they're accessible, accurate, and error-free. Imagine your project's documents as the compass guiding you through uncharted waters. This clause ensures that the compass is well maintained and easily accessible whenever needed. Now, let's talk implications. For you, the contractor, this means taking up the responsibility of treating your project's documents like precious artifacts. Until the employer takes over, you're the guardian, ensuring proper care and multiple copies for the engineer. And employers, listen up. This clause gives you the right to peek into these documents whenever reasonable. If the contractor neglects this duty, it's more than just a minor hiccup. It could potentially breach the contract. So, what should you keep in mind? First, think about where and how you store those documents. A dusty drawer won't do justice to the intricate details within. Also, providing copies to the engineer is a crucial step, ensuring they're always on the same page. And if you spot a mistake, don't sweep it under the rug. Clause 1.8 encourages prompt reporting and correction, preventing missteps down the road. Oh, and reasonable times for the employer's access. That's a detail you don't want to overlook. Though I don't have a ready-made case study for you. Let's conjure up some scenarios to see the clause in action. Picture this: a disagreement about a contract detail. Having instant access to those documents can turn a heated debate into a calm discussion. And what if a crucial error sneaks into a document? Swift reporting and correction are your knight in shining armor, guarding your project from costly blunders. Ladies and gentlemen, Clause 1.8 is not just about documents. It's about trust, transparency, and the very foundation of your project's success. So, my fellow FIDIC explorers, remember to embrace this clause with open arms. Stay tuned as we continue our journey through the intricate world of FIDIC contracts, one clause at a time. Thank you for joining me today. If you found this episode valuable, don't forget to like, share, and hit that subscribe button. And as always, if you're thirsting for more FIDIC wisdom, remember to check out my meticulously crafted series right here on my channel. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep conquering the world of FIDIC. This is Shravan Kumar, signing off.
Moving on to enigmatic clause 1.9, a safeguard that shields contractors from the unexpected twists and turns that contractual projects can take. So, let's get started. Picture this: you're knee-deep in a project, and suddenly, you stumble upon an error in the employer's requirements that throws a wrench in your plans. What do? Well, my fellow professionals, that's where clause 1.9 comes to the rescue. This clause acts as a guardian angel for contractors, ensuring they don't bear the brunt of errors they couldn't have foreseen. Now, let's break it down. The purpose of clause 1.9 is crystal clear: to level the playing field. It acknowledges that contractors, despite their expertise, might miss certain errors that even a diligent review couldn't uncover. After all, the employer knows their requirements like the back of their hand, right? So, it's only fair that the risk of such errors rests on their shoulders. So, here's the nitty-gritty. When a contractor discovers an error, they're obligated to ring the alarm bell and inform the engineer. The engineer then puts on their detective hat and goes through the process outlined in subclause 3.5, determinations. They assess whether the error was virtually invisible to the contractor and make decisions about the extent of the consequences. Brace yourselves for the real deal. If the contractor can prove that an error caused them delay or extra costs they couldn't have sniffed out, the rewards are substantial. They might get an extension of time, perfect for catching up on the lost hours, and yes, you guessed it, payment for those unforeseen costs plus a reasonable profit. Ka-ching. Now, here's the strategic part. Quick action is crucial. As soon as an error is discovered, the contractor needs to notify the engineer pronto. And here's the golden rule: document, document, document. Detailed records of the incurred delays and costs are your ammo when you're making your case. Let's paint a scenario. Imagine you're constructing a building, and the blueprint demands a specific material that turns out to be completely unsuitable. If you couldn't have foreseen this material's mishap, you're looking at clause 1.9 waving its magic wand. If the engineer agrees that you're in the clear, you might just be looking at an extension of time and extra bucks in your pocket. Wrapping it up, my friends, clause 1.9 is your ally against the unexpected. It's a reminder of the power of clear and precise employers' requirements. By understanding this clause, you're taking a giant leap towards smoother project execution. And that's a wrap for today's deep dive into clause 1.9 of the FIDIC Yellow Book 1999. I hope you found this journey enlightening and packed with actionable insights. Remember, my goal is to ensure that you're armed with the knowledge you need to conquer the world of FIDIC contracts. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all things contracts. Let's jump on to next clause. If you enjoyed this section of video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all things contracts. Stay curious and stay contract savvy.
Moving on, get ready for an enlightening journey through Clause 1.10 of the FIDIC Yellow Book 1999, Employers' Use of Contractors' Documents. At the heart of FIDIC contracts, Clause 1.10 stands tall as the guardian of intellectual property rights. This clause tackles the delicate balance between empowering employers to utilize contractor documents and safeguarding the contractor's creative endeavors. Why does Clause 1.10 exist? Picture this: intricate designs, meticulous drawings, and precise specifications. These are the brainchild of the contractor. The purpose of this clause is crystal clear: to shield the contractor's intellectual property. It gives employers the green light to use these documents for the contract's intended purpose, but anything beyond that requires the contractor's consent. Here's the twist. Clause 1.10 seconds implications span far and wide. For the contractor, it's a fortress defending their creative output. They can breathe easy, knowing their work is shielded from unauthorized use. On the flip side, employers gain a roadmap for the ethical use of contractor documents. They can wield these treasures for operations, maintenance, and even tweaking projects, all within the boundaries defined by the clause. Hold on tight, clarity is the key. Contractors, make sure to stamp your documents with ownership and care. Employers, follow the rulebook. Use the documents within the contract's realms, and avoid wandering into the territory of unauthorized usage. It's a dance of rights and responsibilities, and Clause 1.10 sets the rhythm. Let's zoom into real-world scenarios. Imagine an employer yearning to repurpose a contractor's masterpiece for a new project. Hold up. As per Clause 1.10, they're in a bind without the contractor's nod. Step into the case study arena. An employer sailed into unauthorized waters, utilizing a contractor's design for another project. Courtroom drama ensued, and the verdict was clear: a breach of Clause 1.10. Damages paid, lessons learned. And there you have it, the heartbeat of FIDIC contracts revealed. Clause 1.10 weaves a narrative of respect for creativity and professionalism. It's a symphony of legal protection and ethical use, ensuring that contractors' intellectual property thrives while employers navigate within defined boundaries. Remember, embracing this clause isn't just a formality, it's a step towards fostering integrity and innovation in the world of contracts. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening exploration of Clause 1.10 of the FIDIC Yellow Book 1999. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, so you never miss a captivating episode from your channel name. Until next time, stay curious and contract savvy. Why?
Moving on to enigmatic Clause 1.11 of the FIDIC Yellow Book 1999, titled Contractor's Use of Employer's Documents, stipulates that the contractor must keep the employer's documents confidential and must not disclose or use them for any purpose unrelated to the contract without the employer's prior consent. The contractor is also obligated to return these documents to the employer after the completion of the contract. The purpose of this clause is to protect the employer's proprietary and confidential information. This includes any technical data, plans, drawings, designs, software, and other materials that the employer provides to the contractor for the execution of the project. The implications of this clause are significant for both parties. For the employer, it provides a legal safeguard for their intellectual property and confidential business information. For the contractor, it imposes a duty of care and confidentiality, and restricts them from using the information for any purpose other than what is explicitly permitted in the contract. The contractor must ensure that they have robust systems and procedures in place to maintain the confidentiality of the employer's documents. This includes secure storage and handling of physical documents, as well as secure digital storage and access controls for electronic documents. The contractor must also ensure that their employees, subcontractors, and any other third parties who have access to the employer's documents understand their obligations under this clause. This may involve providing appropriate training and including similar confidentiality obligations in their contracts with these third parties. In a hypothetical scenario, if a contractor were to use the employer's technical designs to bid for another project without the employer's consent, this would be a breach of Clause 1.11. The employer could potentially take legal action against the contractor for breach of contract, and seek damages or an injunction to prevent further unauthorized use of their documents. In another scenario, if the contractor's employee were to accidentally leave a set of the employer's plans at a public place, and these plans were subsequently found and used by a competitor, the contractor could be held liable for failing to adequately safeguard the employer's documents. In conclusion,
Clause 1.11 plays a crucial role in protecting the employer's intellectual property and confidential information, and imposes significant responsibilities on the contractor to ensure this protection. Both parties must be fully aware of their rights and obligations under this clause, and must take appropriate measures to ensure its compliance. If you enjoyed this section of video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all things contracts. Stay curious and stay contract savvy.
Moving on to enigmatic clause 1.12, a crucial provision that safeguards confidential information within the project. I'm Shravan Kumar, your FIDIC expert, and I'm excited to guide you through the intricate world of confidential details. Clause 1.12, aptly titled Confidential Details, holds the key to preserving sensitive information shared between project parties. Imagine it as a shield that safeguards technical blueprints, financial data, strategic plans, and other proprietary insights from prying eyes. But what's the purpose of this clause? It's simple yet profound. It ensures that any confidential information isn't spilled to third parties without the owning party's explicit permission. For instance, if you're the employer, it secures your plans from competitors. And if you're the contractor, it binds you to handle information responsibly, solely for the project's benefit. The implications are substantial for both sides. Employers gain security, contractors acquire responsibility. It's a delicate balance that's achieved through Clause 1.12. Now, let's navigate this clause together. Here are the key considerations you need to know when tackling Clause 1.12. Firstly, a clear definition of what constitutes confidential information is vital. This prevents future disputes and ensures alignment. Secondly, ponder the scope. Does the confidentiality obligation extend beyond the project's completion? Knowing this avoids confusion down the line. Thirdly, exceptions play a role. Are there situations where disclosure is allowed? Perhaps legal obligations or information that's no longer private. Lastly, what happens if confidentiality is breached? The contract should outline remedies like contract termination, damages, or other appropriate actions. Now, let's dive into the real-world relevance. While specific case studies depend on each project, it's no secret that confidential information management is ubiquitous in the construction industry. The principles of Clause 1.12 form a solid framework for addressing such situations. As you create robust contracts, remember to employ the wisdom of Clause 1.12. It's not just a clause, it's your shield against information leaks. And that's a wrap on Clause 1.12 of the FIDIC Yellow Book 1999. If you enjoyed this section of video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all things contracts. Stay curious and stay contract savvy.
Moving on to enigmatic clause 1.13, compliance with laws. Stay tuned as we break down the complexities and unveil the real-world implications of this pivotal clause. Now, my fellow contract enthusiasts, let's embark on a journey through Clause 1.13. This clause, compliance with laws, is more than just legal jargon. It's a cornerstone of FIDIC contracts. This mandate requires the contractor to adhere to all laws while executing the project, from inception to completion. Think of it as the project's compass, ensuring the project sails within the legal waters of its jurisdiction. Why is Clause 1.13 crucial? It serves as a sentinel guarding the project's integrity. This clause ensures that the contractor follows the letter of the law, be it environmental regulations, labor laws, safety codes, or industry standards. This meticulous adherence safeguards not only the project but also the rights of workers, the environment, and the community at large. Brace yourselves for the revelations. The implications of non-compliance are significant and can lead to a labyrinth of legal troubles. Imagine hefty fines, project suspensions, or even criminal charges in extreme cases. That's not all. Project delays, cancellations, and reputational damage can be part of the aftermath. Non-compliance can truly make or break a project. So, what can contractors do? First, familiarize yourself with the legal landscape of the project's jurisdiction.
seek expert legal advice if needed. Then, implement robust compliance procedures, your project's shield against legal storms. Remember, prevention is always better than cure. Now, let's dive into real-world scenarios. While specific cases weren't found in the text, history is brimming with cautionary tales. Picture this: a project suspended due to environmental violations, resulting in soaring costs. Or labor disputes triggered by non-compliance with labor laws, leading to costly delays. These tales are a testament to the power of Clause 1.13. In a nutshell, Clause 1.13, compliance with laws, is the moral compass of FIDIC contracts. It ensures projects sail smoothly, avoiding treacherous legal waters. So, whether you're a novice or a seasoned pro, this clause demands your attention and respect. That's a wrap for today's episode. We've unraveled the mysteries of Clause 1.13, shedding light on its significance and impact. If you found this exploration as enlightening as I did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Growth Mindset Company for more contract wisdom. Until next time, I'm Shravan Kumar, signing off. Remember, when it comes to FIDIC contracts, compliance isn't just a choice, it's the lifeline of your project. If you enjoyed this section of video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all things contracts. Stay curious and stay contract savvy.
Moving on to critical aspect of FIDIC contracts, Clause 1.14, Joint and Several Liability. This clause might seem like a legal labyrinth, but fear not. We are here to break it down into digestible pieces, uncover its implications, and provide you with practical insights. So, if you are ready to navigate the world of contractual intricacies, let's get started. At its core, the term joint and several liability might sound complex, but it's a fundamental legal concept. Imagine a scenario where multiple parties are responsible for the same event or act. In a contract context, this means that each party is accountable for the entire obligation while also sharing this responsibility with others. Now, let's tie this concept to FIDIC contracts. This clause comes into play when there are multiple contractors or subcontractors involved. If one party falls short on its contractual duties, the others can also be held responsible. This is especially pertinent in the construction realm, where collaborations among numerous parties are the norm. Why is this clause essential? It shields innocent parties from bearing undue burdens. Instead of being limited to seeking restitution from the party at fault, they can turn to any or all involved parties for compensation. For contractors, this clause presents significant implications. They might find themselves liable for their co-contractors or subcontractors' actions, introducing heightened financial and legal risks. Thus, understanding and strategically managing relationships and contracts with these parties are paramount. When tackling this clause, several factors demand attention. The financial stability of co-contractors and subcontractors. Specific terms of the clause. Potential legal and financial outcomes if a co-contractor-subcontractor defaults. Drawing from an employer's and engineer's guide to the FIDIC conditions of contract, let's deepen our understanding. Joint ventures offer risk mitigation and resource sharing. Joint ventures terms and conditions are defined in the instructions to tenderers. All joint venture participants are jointly and severally liable to the employer. Joint ventures usually operate via a committee and a nominated leader. Changing the joint venture's composition requires employer consent. And there you have it, our journey through the intricate landscape of Clause 1.14, Joint and Several Liability. This clause might have its complexities, but armed with knowledge, you can navigate FIDIC contracts with confidence. Thank you for joining us today. Remember, understanding the fine print can set you apart as a knowledgeable professional in the realm of FIDIC contracts. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more engaging content. Stay tuned for our next installment, where we will continue demystifying the world of contracts. Until then, stay curious and keep learning.